Hello guys, can you guys hear me?
Hello, sir.
Yes, we can.
Guys, you know the routine already. Please, let's not keep wasting time. We have a lot to cover today. Is Leon here? Oh, guys, please join. Please join. Let's start. We don't have too much time to waste today. We have a lot to cover. Why joining? How was the project? Can you guys write down how was the project? How was the project? Oh, let me share my screen. I realized that most of you understood the project, but at some point, some of you were confused. Some of you were confused at some point. So, CMD. So, when you guys did the project, some of you went to your browser right here, right? You went to your browser and type in your repo, the name of your server, to see if you can access your repository. How many people did that? And it was unsuccessful. If you try that list, let's see. Okay, Yasin tried that. Rodrigue tried that. Who else? Who else tried it? Okay, did it work? Brian says no. His own did not work. Morale said it worked for him. Okay. Ali Yassin, it worked for you?
Yes.
Okay. Great. If it worked for you, what system were you using?
Je suis sur Windows.
Yes, Jocelyn, it will work for you.
Yes, sir.
Someone is really, your mic is not good at all.
Do you get me?
Mm.
Oh my.
Let me log in and see. No. VI/HC network manager system connections bond 0 connection. Okay, let me change this to 10. Then okay. All right. SSH. Who has used SSH before? Who has used SSH before? Hello, guys. Activate yourself. I saw 25 people. Now I'm seeing only 19 on Zoom, on YouTube. What's happening, guys? Okay. You guys have all used, please, guys, log on to YouTube. Ah, okay. Okay, Komi says to connect through. Are you guys, is my voice clear enough? Oh no. Is my voice clear enough? I'm here destroying everything. Okay. So some of you said you've used SSH and the like. What is SSH, if I can ask? What is SSH? Secure shell, yes, good. And what port? What port do we use? Remember we said in the IT world, everything deals with protocol. Everything works with protocol. The computer accesses another computer using what? A particular protocol, right? So what does SSH use? What does SSH use? Great. Port number 22. Great. SSH uses port number 22 to connect from one server, from server A to server B. Great. And can someone describe the procedure of logging into a system using a secured shell? Is that all about the authentication process? Log into the original server and get the IP. Open POTI, connect with the IP through SSH. Haven't seen anyone talking about the password. So the password is not part of the authentication process. So let me see 10.12.20.178. I think that's what I gave the IP. This session SSH 10.12.20.178. Okay. Documents, virtual machine. Okay. Let me see one moment. Server. Okay. Server. Server. Okay, that's the OLAP server. My main server is document server. Let me see. Who has tried to log in? Who has tried using SSH to root to log in through SSH? Does it work? Why do you think it's not working? Okay, someone said the system is not trusted. Why does it not work? That's the question we're asking. Okay. Okay, someone said, thank you, Landry. Landry said it wouldn't work if root remote root access was disabled. How do we know it was disabled? How do we know it was disabled? How do we see that? Morale said is disabled in the SSH config. Where is the config? Where is the SSH config? Location of the SSH config. Location of the SSH config. Let's go with 51. 51. Where is the location? Why do some people have their videos off? Coley, if you're driving, turn
Sir,
your
I'm
video off,
driving.
Coley. Turn your video off, please, Coley. Let me see. Is Alex here? Alex usually helps me with this. Let me see. I don't have time for all this. Oh, Alex is not here today.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Okay, someone said it's SSHD. All right, let's cd to slash etc slash SSHD. Okay. Oh, cd to slash etc SSH. And list. These are the files inside here. vi2 sshd underscore config. Okay, then I search. This is how you search for information. You put a /, then you write what you want to search. You can press enter and will take you forward. Every word that matches that. If I press N, it will take me. Oh, sorry. I see only one root. Now let me search for permit. Let me see perm. Okay. Where someone said SSHD underscore config. I VI into SSHD underscore config. These are the things that are blocked. Let me see. Permit no. Permit tunnel no. These are all options that you can set. You can play with them. But also, so where is the option? Who said it was in SSHD? Can you show me the option? Who said it was in SSHD? Show me the option, please. So I'm in SSHD. I've searched for root. I can see only one occurrence of root here. So someone said, who said SSHD? Yes, Moral. Moral, you said SSHD. So how can I change that? Hello? How can I change that? Okay, that's smart. I like that. That's good. I like that. So thank you, Francois. It's capital R. Great. So some of you just go online and type and bring it. That's good. So it's capital R, permit root login. You can permit root login, you can change root login. Okay. You can permit root login, you can change root login. It's when it's commented out, that means it's not working. You can do it, right? Great. All right. I just wanted to note that about SSH, but now let's see something right here. CD. Let me see CD to CD SU dash. No, let me exit instead. Yes, Ashley, question.
Yes. When we create the server,
My mic that's bad, or I can't really hear anything from anyone. Someone else should speak.
hello?
Yeah. I'm having issues.
I can hear you, but your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that I can't even hear you guys well. Is it still breaking?
Yeah. I think
This is not
some
good.
people are saying no. Maybe it's from my side. Don't know.
Someone else should speak. Can someone else speak?
Vous m'entendez?
Oui, très bien.
It's same. It's mine.
Mhm.
Oh. Can someone speak again? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oui, on vous entend.
Oh, now it's good.
Mhm.
The voice was so robotic that I could not hear anything.
Mhm. Yeah, I was saying that when we create the server and we put the root password, I mean there are usually these two places where we are supposed where we can tick. Can we do it there to allow the root to connect through SSH?
Yes, but why do you think it's disabled by default?
That's what I'm trying to understand too.
For security?
Yes, for security, good. For security reasons, because listen, the root account is the most important account in the system, right? It's like you let's say opening the root account for remote login. It's like you build your house and you go and hang the key in the market, right? You go put the key in the market. So remote login, everyone can log in. The console, if I am not here, I cannot log in through this server. The only way I can log in, you can log into this server right here. This server right here, you can log in. Any of you try, you can log in. If I permit root login, I mean, are you that tired? Alex, please help me. Everyone that has the camera off, please just kick them out for me, please. Except Coley.
Okay, sir.
Deep Tech,
Yes.
Deep Tech, sorry, I'm having issue with my camera. I think it's coming from my VPN, but I'm afraid if I want to restart, I will be quick out. Reason what? I would like to talk to you about that. But I'm here, I'm following you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Salvador, do you have two screens?
Allô, sir? Allô?
Yes.
Oui, j'ai un problème avec mon laptop. Je suis connecté sur mon téléphone portable. Et ça me dérange surtout.
Okay, try and fix it before next class. Okay. So permitting root login is not good, Ashley. What we are saying is permitting root login is not good. It's like you create something very crucial and you go in and then you permit access to network, anyone to log in. So not permitting root login, it's some kind of, let's just call it like an air gap. I mean, a little bit of some kind of an air gap stuff, right? So the root user can only log in. If you want to log in using the root user, you must be able to use the console to log in, okay? You must be able to use the console. Without the console, if someone logs into the system or is able to guess a user's password and log into the system with that user, they cannot become root easily. Well, if someone tries to crack your root password, let me say someone is trying to crack the root password, or a hacker is trying to crack the root password, the first way that that hacker can reach the system is using what? Being able to use the root user to SSH, right? So we don't want that. That's why we have it like blocked for security reasons. Okay. So With that, you know what SSH is controlled by OpenSSH, right? The package that is responsible for SSH is OpenSSH. If you uninstall OpenSSH, then you will not be able to log in again. Let me see, systemctl status SSHD. Let me log into the other server first. I think that server was 200. 10.12.20.200. Specify username. Accept key. Okay. So with SSH, I can move from one server to another, right? I can move from one server to another. Let me reattach this thing and do a split. Let me see. I'll split two screens. Okay. That is 78. This is 200. Okay, great. These are two different servers. As you can see, this is my repo server, and this is my LDAP server, right? I clear my screen. If I do ls-la here, all right, see these files right here, right? Let's SSH to LDAP. I hope DNS is working. LDAP SSH as SSH2, right? I wanted to do something, but you guys will help me troubleshoot. SSH to LDAP to Gferi at LDAP. Okay, thank you. SSH. All right, you guys should help me troubleshoot this. Let's go activate your brains if you really did the work. Let me put .class.local. Okay. No, let me not waste time. This will just be too much work. vi2/etc named vi2/etc named.conf. What? Permission denied. Okay. Issue-root. vi2/etc/named.conf. Yeah. Okay. .12.20.178. Let's save systemctl restart named. Named-check conf vi2/etc named.conf 10.12.20.78. Okay, the zones are not loaded. Okay, vi2/var systemctl status named. Permission denied. Lord Jesus Christ. Shown root named dash R. I need to modify a lot here. Permission denied, Control C. CD to this location, CD. Okay. VI to slash var name D forward.db LDAP. I give it now 200. Give it 200. 10.12.20.200. Ten dot 12.20.178. Systemctl restart named systemctl status named /h0 vi to /hc vi to /hc /hc resolve 10.12.20.178. Okay, clear my screen. Dig in LDAP. Let's see. SSH2. Oh my God, I did put the wrong server. That's fine. vi to /etc named.conf. This one is instead 200. vi to /var forward/var named forward.db is instead 200, not 178. 200 and the LDAP server is 178. System CTL restart name D. Okay. vi/etc resolve. This server is 200. 200. System CTL restart name D. Okay. Okay. So if I SSH to Gferi at LDAP, SSH to Gferi, why am I only putting SSH to Gferi at LDAP? I give the password ls-la. Okay, you see, once I SSH, what happened on this server? On the sorry. Well, so I did an SSH from the repo server because I was right here on the repo server. Then I SSH down to the LDAP server. And what happened? What happened? Can someone tell me what happened? Look at the time. It created a hidden file. Yes, thank you to Ashley. It created a hidden file. Can you see the hidden file right here? It created a hidden file. Okay, let's CD to that hidden file. .ssh, CD to .ssh and do LL. I see something called known host. Cat known host. Great. When I cat known host, I see right here, what do I see? I see a key, right? I see a key. You see, the reason why we say SSH is secure, a secure shell, it's because SSH uses like a key algorithm. It uses a key algorithm in order to share a secret. So it encrypts every traffic that you send to the server. Any traffic that is coming from here, from this remote location to this one, is being encrypted, okay? And this is called the SSH host key, okay? And this key helps in securing what? The connection between these two servers. So this server, when it engages or when it launches an SSH connection, it shares a key, okay? It shares a key, a communication key that they use to communicate together. It's only these two servers that can decrypt, can use this key in decrypting what? The information that's being sent. So if an attacker captures the information that is being sent from what? From here to here, there's an attacker right here, and that attacker captures this information, okay? Succeeds in capturing the information. What they're going to see is what? Jargons. They won't see anything. So they will see just a bunch of letters and dots and all the like. X, Y, Z, this. That's what they will see. But because these two servers had exchanged a key, right? They had exchanged a key, they can communicate safely using that key, okay? Yes, Jocelyn. They use ciphers, but keeping it, let's keep it a little bit, let's keep it down for anyone to understand, because if we start entering into ciphers and all the like, it will be a little bit difficult for the other people. Because actually, when you're doing an SSH, you can test it here. Let me exit back and test it here. SSH-V. Let me see. This is a verbose, right? This is like verbose. This is what actually happens. So I just want to see what happens. So when you start trying to SSH to the server, what it happens is it contacts the server and say, hey, what version of SSH are you using, right? It says, all right, I am using this version of SSH. It responds, and if this server supports that version of SSH also, they share that communication. So it tries to connect it tries a whole lot of, they agree on what to use. Let me just call it what to use. They agree on what to use. There are so many kinds of stuffs that they use, or let me say keys, or different types of algorithms that they use. And they agree on a particular one. Once they agree on the particular one, so they do an exchange, right? They do an exchange of what? Keys, and use those keys to communicate together. This is actually what happens in the background. So after they agreed on sharing a key, that's when you can now put your password, okay? Now they've agreed with a key and everything is fine. You see, SSH message service accepted. The key input. I mean, if you read through this, you actually see, you see here, right here, it found a key. This is even before what? Before logging into the server. This is even pre to log. I've not yet put my password. So they do an exchange. There is a key. It found a key, right? Let me say it found a key in here. There is a key. They agree on that. And you see SSH new keys received. They expecting keys. It receives the keys. The connection is now encrypted between these two servers. Now, if I am putting my password, it will try to connect that, it will try to contact the server and say, hey, I've received a password. Is this password correct? By the time your password is going, now your password is stored in this encrypted what? Connection that has been created between the two servers. Is that understood? So if I put my password now, my password is safe. Now, if I put my password, it's safe. Even if someone captures the traffic, right? Even if someone captures the traffic, good, I'm now logging. You see, it's showing me even keys that are deprecated. It will show me if some keys are deprecated and all the like. Great. So this connection is now safe. I know that I am using a safe connection to connect to this server. This is what we call what? The known host. So the server has its own pre-authentication process that it tries to exchange what? A pair of keys so they can communicate together, okay? So the keys are both public and private, but let's take public and private to a different level. You see, now imagine that a server is exchanging a pair of keys to log in. Before even your password, they are exchanging a pair of keys. That means this right here is safer even than using a password to log in. So you and I can use this mechanism also to log in, right? The mechanism that the server is using, you and I can replicate this same mechanism in such a way that we get rid of our password and create a pair of keys and use those keys to log in such a way that we will not need our password again to log in because we have what? A key. Is that understood? Okay, now question. Let me see, there are a lot of smart people in this class. Jocelyn, you mute your mic. Don't talk. Okay. This is your door, okay? And there's a key under your door. There's a key right here on your door where you can actually insert a key. Sorry. This is a key knob on your door where you can actually put a key. This is a key, right? Great. This is let me say your house. This is you right here, holding your key, holding this key. Between these keys, let me ask you, which one is public and which one is private? if they were to say between these two keys, let me ask you, which one is public and which one is private? Between the key you hold in your hand and the key on your door, which one is public? Okay, Mimi said both are private. Okay. Okay, Leon said door is public. I like that. Great.
The
Door
door
is
is public.
How can you stop someone from putting another key on your door? You yourself, you've tried another key on your door. Is that true? Without knowing. Who has done that? I have done that also. The key on your door is public, right? It's public because anyone can insert a key here, even if it doesn't match. The one on your door, the key knob on your door is public. The key knob on your door is public, but you have what? The private key. You have the key that works on this. Now, let's say not your door, but your mailbox. Do you think the key on your mailbox is public or private? It is public. Okay. Now, if a mailman is coming to log in, all the keys, let me ask you something. There are more than 5 million mailboxes in America. How many keys do you think the mailbox person has? How many keys do you think the mailbox person has to access all these mailboxes? Someone said they have one public key. If the key that the mailbox person is using is public, that means if it's a public key, that means anyone can open your mailbox. Is that true? If the key is public, anyone can open your mailbox. No. The private key is the most important key. This is one of the keys that's guarded, one of the most guarded secret by what? Mailbox, the postal office. They guide this key with their life. Because if someone gets this private key from the mail guy, no mailbox is safe again in the whole country. Is that true? But the public one can be deployed on a lot of stuffs. The public one can be deployed on a lot of stuffs. Okay? It's the same like the server. If I am leaving server A to server B and I don't want to log in using a password, let's say I am in server A, or let me say what? Data analysis server. Let me say a data server. I am on the data server. Then, right here, this is what? Maybe a web server. A web server, and I want to log in through this server using SSH keys. I will create 2 pairs of keys first. I create 2 pairs of keys. One will be public and one will be private. Okay, great. Let's say right here, I am GIFTech right here. Okay, I'm GIFTech right here. And I know a user here that I know that user's password. So this is user, maybe user HTTP. I want to log into this system as user HTTP. HTTP. I am here at GIFTech. It doesn't matter. I know I am GIFTech. I am a user. I am using this computer right here. I know a user here called HTTP. Now, I want to log into that system. I want to log into this system using what? A key system. I want to use like SSH keys to log in. I create two keys, public and private. Okay. Which one will I send to this server? Which one will I put right here? Which one will I put right here? Great. I'll put the public right here. If I put the public right here, even if you come with your own key and try, it won't work. Right? It won't work. It will not work. Okay? It will not work. It will only work if I bring the matching key. This is the public key. I create two keys, right? Sorry, I'm not an artist. My key was terrible. Thank God it didn't come out on the screen. Okay. Oh my God. Drawing a simple key is more than me. All right. I hope this is a bit better. So if right here, this is what? This is the matching key. This is what you do every time, right? When the public key is on the door, you can deploy the public key anywhere, right? But you have your private key. Can you give someone your private key? Can you give someone the key to your door? But you can give someone the lock, right? Even if you give someone the lock, what do they do with the lock? I can give someone the lock. Right. I can put a lock right here. The lock is public. If I lock something, if I lock my car with a lock or my bike, if I have a bike, I lock it with the lock. That anyone can come and try a key on that lock. I know that. I know. But I have the key that works. So if I am right here, I am going to this place. You ask me to create a key. I can create this key. I hold the private one. I hold the private key, right? I do hold the private key. And I deploy the public one on what? Multiple servers. I can deploy the public one on all the servers around. The public one will be right here, waiting for the matching private key, right? Waiting for the public, for the matching key. It will reject any other key that wants to log in till it sees that you are logging in using what? The private key. Right, explaining a lot without showing it is not good. Great. Let me say, let's create a user here. User add, this is the LDAP server, remember? Is the screen big enough? So, this is the LDAP server. Let me switch to root and create a user. So, user add, let me just say Brad. User add Brad. Brad is my user. Oh, yeah, Brad is my user. Oh, user add Oracle. Oh, user add MySQL. Password MySQL. Great. Let's say there is a database here for LDAP that I know and it's having a problem. I want to go in and see. Guys, mute. I want to go in and check to see what's happening, right? I'll just do SSH to my SQL at LDAP. Oh my God. I am at LDAP server. Who is unmuted like that? All right, Claire. Host name CTL. You can host name CTL. I've done too much studies today. Guys, can you help Alex, please? Can you help me mute this person that's Mimi? Your camera is off. Rodrigue, your camera is off. Why?
Yeah, my camera is on. I'm here.
Okay, great. So if this server is having an issue, right? Let's say this server is having an issue, right? I want to log in to that server. Let me clear my screen and I do SSH to SSH as MySQL, user MySQL. They say the database is having a problem. Let me just, for example, as I SSH as MySQL on what? On the server LDAP. Remember, this is root, right? Doing the SSH, establishing the SSH connection. I give the password. Great, I am logged in here as user LDAP. If I do ls, let me su to MySQL on this server. Let's see if our hidden file was created. ls-la. Okay, we didn't see our file here. We've not seen our file here. That's fine. Let me see. This is the LDAP server. All right, it wasn't created, but it's stored in the general. I think it should be stored in the /etc non-host. It should be there in the /etc SSH non-host. Let me cd to exit. cd to /etc SSH SSH, comma, non-host, SSH underscore non-host. SSH underscore non-host, right? I don't, okay, cat instead. Oh my God. Cat /etc SSH underscore non-host. All right, let me see. I see config, I see host key. I don't see any. Okay, I just see some keys. That's fine. That's fine. Let me clear my screen and that's fine. Now, exit. Let me create, let me go back in. Was I searching as su-mysql? Okay. Now let's try to use, let me exit hello. Now let me try to use let me try to create keys, right? Let me try to create keys and use those keys to like SSH right here. Okay. You guys will permit me a little bit today. I'm really tired. I studied way too much last night and this morning. So I'm kind of really tired. So SSH, if I have type with typos, errors, just correct me, please. So I do SSH -key gen, right? Key generation, generate a key. It says I am generating public and a private RSA key pair. Where do you want me to store it? Do you want it to be stored under your home directory? Because I am as root saying, do you want me to store it under your home directory .ssh id underscore RSO or RSA, or you want to store it somewhere? I can decide to store it somewhere. If I just click enter, it will store it here, but I can decide to create a different file to store it there, right? I create enter. It says, do you want a passphrase? I don't want a passphrase. Passphrase is somewhat like a password again. I just press enter. Enter same again. Right, I didn't create anything. It says, great, I've created you 2 keys. If I check by doing ls-la, we can see, where am I? CD, and I clear my screen, I'm in my home directory. So it's stored under my home directory. So if I check present working directory, where's my home directory /root? I do ls-la, I see my 2 key pairs. I see my .ssh folder right here, which is, who can give me the permissions on this? What's the permissions on this? Let's go. 21. I think 21 is 07. Let's go, type. Alain. Okay, great. So, all right. 13, type. Let me see, Gaetan, help us. 43. Gaetan, help us. No, on YouTube. Type. Gaetan, type. If I am not good in life, I'll send all of you to Malox. He has the right insults for you people. Some of you. Okay. So we've created 2 key pairs right here, .ssh. So if we cd2.ssh and I do ll, you see, I see my key pairs. I see like known host. Okay, cat known host, LDAP server. All right. I can see some known host here. Let's just say this is the one the server really keeps like a copy. Okay. Now, clear. I have 2 keys right here. The ID underscore RSA and ID underscore RSA pub. This is my public key. This is my private one. Now, if I want to log in here, remember we said you send your public key right here waiting. Then when you're coming in, you come in with the private key. You come in to authenticate. Let's just say you come in with the private key, try to open your door. Think of it that same way, okay? You think of it that same way. Just think of it that same way. You use your private key and you come with your private key. If your public key is right here and the keys do match, boom, it lets you in. Okay. So now, how do I send my key right here, my public key to this server? I can simply do a copy. I can do, and there's a special command, SSH-copy ID, right? SSH-copy ID. This is very important because some of you will go work for companies where they do set up FTPs between companies, like file sharing stuff between one company and another. And I'm telling you, I once spent more than 4 days trying to troubleshoot SSH keys. I mean, 4 days, like from Monday to Friday. The system was using a very old SSH, a switch. And as I was now the system that had the newest SSH, the other ones were duplicated. Now I needed to like redefine the algorithms, help it to accept older connections. I'm telling you, that was headache for me, a lot of headache. So everything you learn, just put it. Microsoft, Google, and all these companies, they do share files together. Don't think they don't. They do share files together. And you as an administrator, there are times that you're expecting a file or they're expecting some data and that data does not arrive. You need to find out what happened. And at times, it might just be an SSH issue. And you need to fix it. This is just like introduction to what SSH can do. But when you have the understanding of how it works, you can literally do anything. You can do research, you can do anything. So SSH-copy ID is the command that we use in copying this. So if I do SSH-copy ID -I, because I want the file, you see, and I press tab, it puts the file alone. If I am already in here, SSH-copy ID -I, it knows already that I want to send my public key somewhere. Where do I want to send? I want to send it to MySQL, to use a MySQL, MySQL, right? At what? At LDAP, at the LDAP server. You see, now I am using LDAP. I'm not using IPs again because of what? The last class, right? Now I am using what? Host names to log into servers. I enter. It says, hey, I am adding one key. If you are the one, if you want to add one key, if you want to send one key to this server and you're sending the public key, if you want to send this public key to this server, if you know the password for MySQL in this server, send the key. That's what it's saying. Because actually, I am sending that key so that I will not use the password again. You can only send the key if you know the password. I give the password and it says one key added, right? It has added a key. Now, if I SSH as who? If I SSH as MySQL at LDAP, automatically it will use my private key. You see, it uses now my key to go in without a password. I don't use the password again. I am here at LDAP. If I exit and I do SSH-V, let me call it and put verbose -V. Okay, it logged in. Now, if we go through this, I don't have time to go through this. You see that it will say preferred method. It should be somewhere here, around here. It will say preferred method of logging in SSH. You see, it will exchange. It agrees on an algorithm. It chooses an algorithm, then the host key algorithm that it accepted upon. It sends it, the other server sends, the other one receives, and they all accept. Now, SSH reply received, load host keys, let me see, found key in /root.ssh host 1. You see, it found a key, okay? Rekey after, expecting this. So all this, if you read through, you will see where it actually says method of authentication, public keys. It's somewhere in here. I don't have time to go through this now. Then it will log in. If the method of authentication, it checks for all methods of authentication and sees which one, right? Which one is preferred. The preferred will always be the key. The key is always the preferred one, except you change it. Once it decides that it's using the key as the method of communication, it will not ask you for a password. It will check the key. And if the key is right there, then it logs you into the server, except the server is now kicking it out. Okay. Okay, you see, authentication that can continue. You see, now after, yeah, this is the line right here. After it does its exchange that we did talk about, right? Between the server and this server, they decide on a method to encrypt the connection, and it's finally encrypted. It says now to continue authentication methods that are allowed to go into this server. We have what? Public key, we have this, or password, right? And next authentication method, this is the next authentication method. Once it finds an authentication method, it takes that authentication method and use it. If it doesn't find one, you'll try the other one. If it doesn't find one, you'll try the other one till finally you'll decide that maybe it's password. If it's password, then you'll use the password to go in. If it's next authentication method, public key, it will try other ones. It will not go. It says next authentication method, what? Public key. Can you see the RSA offering public key? The server said, okay, this is the public key that I have. Remember our diagram, right? The server is like saying, okay, I am offering the public key. If you have the private key, input that private key right here, right? So remember, once the connection is set, this server is offering what? Debug. Debug is just like it's showing what is happening, right? Offering public key, offering this public key, this.rsa. I am using this key to log in as my authentication method instead of a password. Server accepts key. You see, the server accepted the key because it went in and connected together and said, oh, yes, it's a matching key. Server accepted the key and replied also, right? You see, it replied also with the exact same, see right here, it presented this key and the server accepted the key. Authentication to LDAP using public key, accepted. Boom, you're in to the server. Are we good with that? Now, remember what we said about mailboxes. Where did we push the key? Now, if I bring up the diagram again, remember we said every user in Linux has their own home directory. We pushed the key, the public key, to the home directory of what? MySQL. Did we push the home directory, push it to the home directory of GFRI? Did we? Hello? No. All right, let's try to SSH to the GFRI user that's in here. Now, let me exit. Exit. I clear my screen and I SSH -v to GFRI. Now it's not MySQL this time. I'm still in my .ssh. GFRI at LDAP. Great, it's asking for a password. Okay. All right. You see, now if we come to this same level, after they have accepted like a communication medium, right? Because they will try. And after they accept, okay, it says now you can use any of these methods to log in. Now I am trying the first one, which is GSS API keys, GSS API, which no credentials were supplied. No, it failed. Okay, do you have something else? The next method is public key. Yes, I have public key. Then the server offered this public key. Like it showed the key that I have this key on my door. If you have the matching key, confirm so you can log in. Right? /root.this. It sends the key. The server does not respond. The server does not respond with anything. So it cannot log in using the key. Authentication that can continue. It shows all other methods that can continue. It checks if there is any other key. It doesn't see. It checks for DSA. It checks for ECDSA. You can create, instead of an RSA, you can create a DSA. You can create an ECDSA. All this with SSH keygen dash, you just put an option, arguments, then it will create it. Now, next authentication method that can continue, password. It's asking for the password. You see, right here, because there is no key under the home directory of who? GFRI. GFRI, you didn't send any key to GFRI, did you? No, you did not. You send the key to MySQL ls-la. If you cd to .ssh, right here, cat authorized keys. You see, this is a key. This is the public key. The public key, anyone can see the public key. Once you don't have the private, you can use it to log in. So this is the authorized key, right? It's authorizing who? User root at what? This. How? So user root is saying that I have your password. I know it. Now I've just set a code on the door in such a way that when I just come, the door can open for me. The door will recognize that it's me and go in. If another user knows this password and send it also, you'll see another authorized key will appear down here and the user's name will be right here. Now, we did not send our key to user GFRI, or user GFRI did not also send any key to this server right here. So user GFRI logging in to as the MySQL user would need to use a password unless user GFRI creates his own key here and send the keys here. And also, if root is going to GFRI, he did not send any public key right here to user GFRI, right? If I su-GFRI, let me VI to, let me do ls-la, cd to .ssh, ll. Do you see anything like authorized keys? No, you don't, right? User GFRI does not have any server that is authorized to log in. Okay, let's push the key to user GFRI. Instead of putting the password, let's push the key. SSH-copy ID to user GFRI. GFRI at LDAP. It says, hey, you're trying to send a key. You're trying to send one key to user GFRI. Okay, if you know user GFRI's password, put it. I put user GFRI's password, so I've sent a key. If we do LL here, you see there's one authorized key, cat authorized key. Now, if we call our SSH.v again, it will not ask for the key no more. You see, it doesn't ask the key no more because the authentication method arrived at public key. So this is GSS API is the one that is the one that overrides every other key, okay? Any other authentication method. This is the first one that it uses. It prefers this one, like saying this one is the most secure, right? The one that I prefer by default to use is this. However, you don't have it. Now, the next one that I prefer that is stronger is what? Public key authentication. Do you have it? Last time, the server did not respond. It says this time around, what happened? The server respond and say, oh, I see a key. I see a key. It responds like, yes, I have it. And it says authentication to LDAP using public key, not more password. Same thing with your mobile XTEM, same thing with your POTI. You can send this publicly. You can send this public key to your you can send this publicly to your laptop and use it to do what? To log in to SSH to your server without putting password. You just go straight, right? If I cut, some of you will not know how to copy it. I shared WinSCP to most of you. You can use WinSCP to copy the key. Or you can simply cat ID. Oh, no. Cat ID RSK underscore LL. It's what? ID underscore RSA. Cat ID underscore RSA dot pop. Right. This is my key right here. I can copy this and paste it in my notepad and use it to log in. I can copy this. You see, it's exactly the same key that was sent here. This is exactly the same key you see in here that you pushed it in here. But I cannot reveal my what? My private key. Because anyone that has my private key can log into this server, even if it's a criminal. If they have my private key, that means even if they put that private key on another machine. Now, for example, let me just prove to you that if you put the private key on any other machine, name it what you want, you SSH, it will work. It will work. For example, I don't have a new server. Let me see. Let me go to my environment. Let me go to my environment. I think I might have something there. I hope it's even on. All right, let me pick a random server in my environment right here, right? Let me see. Let me pick a random server right here. All the servers are off. Okay, let me just pick a random server. Do I have any random server here? I don't know. This is even a CentOS 7 server. I don't even know the password. Do I even know the password? Let me see. I might not know the password. I didn't build this server. Oh, okay, good. This is a server right here. User add Bloom. Okay, user add Bloom. LL IPA. Okay, this is 172.1690.7. This server right here. Let me do a ping and see if it's working. Ping. I hope it's working. Great, it's working. Let me use Spotty to get in. Oh, mobile. Let me just use Spotty. Okay. So the IP is 172.172. Oh, I logged in as root. I've added user blue. Let me give a password. Password blue. All right. Great. I've added the password. Now 172.16.90.7. All right. Let me change font to like 16. Open. Accept. Login as blue. I gave the password for blue, right? Login as blue. So I'm wasting too much time. All right. Great. All right. This is a new server. Let's say this is a hacker that has your private key, right? ls-la, right? Let me just make directory. I don't even need to make the directory. Let me see. Let me try and copy it. All right. Let's say this is a hacker and you shared your private key. Where is that key? Let me take the key right here. I'll delete these keys after. Let me just, you never share your key, but let me just cut the key and copy it. Okay. Let me cut the key. This is the private key, right? You shared it as I'm sharing now on YouTube. Well, I'll delete these keys after. Okay. You shared it like this. Someone just copies it like this, right? Someone does this. Someone copies this key exactly like this. This is the key you shared. Someone copied it and he just went to his party. Let me see, VI2, VI2. Let me just call the file 1, right? And paste the key in here. This is your private key that you are using to log into the server, the LDAP server. Now, since this one is not using the same DNS server, I can make it to use the same DNS server, su-root. Let me ping it and see if it's even reaching that DNS server, 10.12.20. Was it 200? Great. It's reaching that DNS server. Okay, great. So it's reaching it. Let me just change it to make sure that I use LDAP also. VI to /etc resolve. I want to change the name server from this to 10.12.80.200 so that I can use the LDAP stuff. Great. Ping LDAP. Okay. Let me see. Dig LDAP dot class dot local. All right. It's unable to dig it, but that's fine. Let's just use the IP for now. I don't want to go in, kill our time trying to make it to accept this connection right here. Great. I hope I can ping that server. Ping 10.12.20.178, which is the IP of the LDAP server. Okay, I can ping it. Right. I created a file here called 1. Let me exit LL. Great. I created a file here called 1. Remember, this is what? This is our server right here, right? This is our server right here. And we just exposed the key. Someone with another IP, user blue in another server, copied the key, right? Then he does SSH-I, right? And use that key, which is 1. So my SQL at, let me put the IP since this thing is not working. IPA. What's the IP again? This thing is 2. Let me clear my screen. IPA. Okay, 10.12.this. Right. .178. Let's see what will happen. 10.12.20.178. SSH using that key. Now, this is the server talking. Remember, we said the first step is when the server is actually trying to do its own connection, right? The server is saying that I have seen a new server. Do you want to connect to this server? I do, yes. Okay, it asked permission denied, bad permissions. Oh, because this file right here, I created, I think, why are the permissions wrong? Let me see, load key 1, bad permission. Oh, let me change the permission on this key. Shmot. Let me see 77001. Hello. Let me check the other permissions on the key. Hello. Okay. What's the permission of the private key? Read write. Okay. Shmot 600. Hello. Okay, this is the same permission. It said bad permission. Let's call it again. Now, since the server, I did accept already, yes, I will not accept yes again. Did it use the password? Can someone tell me if it used the password? Did it use the password? No. So if you share your private key, if you share the private key, these are the things that people will talk to you at work. And you might go bomb by saying something different or saying something and somebody will just like, this is someone that just started. If they're discussing things like this, maybe at work, you throw yours and you're OT, you're off topic, or you just throw also something on it and you don't know what you're talking about. Everyone will just be like, oops, we got one. Everyone will be like, we got ourselves one, right? So if you actually, this is why I'm spending time on this. If you actually know how the connection works, why they say, if I just tell you, don't share your private key, but I don't actually show you what happens if you share your private key. Is this even user root? No, this is not even user root, right? This is not even user root. And if I check my authorized key here, if I check my authorized key right here, we said each time that you create a new key, it will add it to the authorized key. Cat authorized key. If I check here, it's one key that's authorized, right? We've not added any other key. I just use the key that you exposed, the private key. Remember what we said about mailboxes. The most guarded key is the private one. You can deploy the public one on different users, on different systems. And so far as you hold the private key, you can use the private key to log in and do work. Is that understood? Yes. The LDAP server, Morale said, can the LDAP server deny the key? Yes. If I remove authorized keys, now let's try again. Let me see. It worked? Okay, let me see. No, I was already in, right? Exit. Let me see. Exit, let me try again. Oh, it still works. Yeah, it still works. But if I clear the known host, if I clear the known host list, I think that will go. Okay? Yes, if I clear now this known host, if I clear the known host and the like, it will go. Someone said, is it possible to know the server details of a known host if we don't know the IP, the name? I mean, if someone worked on the server before us and they didn't share the info with us. If they work on the server before you and did not share the info with you, you just type history. You come on that server and you just type history, you see the things the person was running. If you type last, it'll show you all the users that have logged in before you, right? If you type last, you see all the users that have logged in before you and all the like. Great, that's it about SSH keys. Not difficult, but very important to understand. Because sometimes you might be trying to log in through SSH. And if the ciphers are not being accepted by the server, because you can tune your SSH to use just particular ciphers and not others. And if it comes with others, with another kind of cipher that the system does not understand, or let's call it algorithm that the system does not understand, it will be kicking it out. Now you need to do like a verbose thing to see what's happening, right? To see what's happening, because it might be refusing what it might not have like a method of communication. They are not agreeing on the key, on the communication protocol that they can use, the way to encrypt the data. Which way can we use in encrypting the data? Some might be saying, let's encrypt with A. The other say, but I don't have A, I have D. And he says, nope, I don't have D. Oh, I have D. Say, no, D, they refuse D from communicating. You can't use D. You can use only a particular one. This happens a lot when you want to secure systems. At times, you tune it down just to a single cipher. There are some systems that you tune it down just to like a single authorized method of communication. Great. And that's all about SSH. Now, NFS. What is NFS? What's NFS? Network file system. Okay. So you come to realize that when you work for an environment, maybe as an infrastructure engineer, or you build environments, you realize that you have to deal with storage. Let me see. Okay, you see this, right? So this is how a data center might look like, okay? This is how a data center might look like. And actually they look like this. And at times, you as a Linux admin, you will be the one to be doing some of these connections when it concerns servers. Everything in here is not server concerned. There's network equipment and every other thing, right? When it comes to this, you'll be the one doing the connections, okay? You'll be the one doing the connections. This whole stack can be talking together, or this can host like maybe storage blocks or SAN storages and other like, or NAS storages, right? These blocks right here, there are two ways of like doing these connections. One is iSCSI, there's iSCSI, and there's NFS, especially connecting it with things like VMware, vCenter, or the like, or even the cloud platforms that you're using. The cloud platform that you will use, that everyone is going to cloud now, which is very good. And well, there will always be jobs for people that will actually build the infrastructure for the cloud. Like if I do NVIDIA right now, NVIDIA Linux administrators. NVIDIA right now is hiring a lot and a lot of Linux admins, okay? That can work. NVIDIA is hiring a lot of Linux administrators right now, a lot of them, like seriously, like a lot of them. So, reason being that even the cloud infrastructure, you see, these are all NVIDIA jobs trying to hire Linux engineers, paying how much? Either 100 to like 198K. NVIDIA that you see that's like senior. If you're a senior, if you're a senior engineer, senior system engineer, they are paying from like 132 to 259,000. And if you're good, if you're actually good, you get the job. You get the job. You're responsible for building. You can go to LinkedIn and the like and see. You're responsible for, because they are building a lot of data centers now that's being used by other companies like ChatGPTs and all the like for their GPUs. So now, why am I saying this? I am saying this in regards to what I was sharing right here, that at times you'll be the one to set these connections. And I do all these settings all the time. You'll be the one to set these connections at times. And you need to understand the protocols. Now, for the fact that they show you, I can show you in here, right? I can show you in here. Every computer that you see here has a screen that is like this, right here. At the end, when you connect and put them up, they look exactly like this. Even a switch, a networking switch, when you SSH into a switch, this is what it will look like. When you SSH into what? A NAS server, you can get this terminal, this same terminal to work on. Any infrastructure, they all have this. And you see, you connect them together. You can say a company is hosting maybe zettabytes or a lot of storage. Let's just say a lot of storage, right? You think it's only on one disk or one drive? No, it's on multiple sections. You need to connect them together. What is the protocol? You know, from one computer to another, there is a protocol that they use to communicate together. And whether you like it or not, every little thing most things use Linux as some kind of a lot of embedded systems use Linux, like use some kind of a light Linux kernel in them, believe it or not. Your watches, your smart watches, smart TVs, and all the like. Right. There's some sort of communication. There's a method of communication between Unix-like systems, which they do communicate using something called NFS, Network File System. What is NFS? Now your turn. What is NFS? Let's go. What is NFS? Network File System. Yes, but what is it? What is NFS? Somebody should give me a good definition of NFS. I haven't seen a good one yet. How does NFS communicate? How does NFS communicate? Someone says remotely. How? How, guys? Yes. Okay. Someone say client server and system server through protocol. What protocol? What protocol? Someone say using TCP UDP. Okay. Someone said using what? Someone said using SSH. Wow. Wow. How does, can you guys tell me how NFS uses SSH? Okay. We might end 30 minutes into this. Is that okay? If it's okay for you guys, fine. If it's not okay, then we can call it a day. Okay. Right. So let's keep it simple and say NFS is a system of communication between what? Like Unix-like operating systems. What do we mean by a system of communication between Unix-like operating system? You see, let me say we have like 4 servers. We have 4 servers, server A, B, C, D, right? We have these 4 servers, server A, B, C, and D, all Unix-like systems, right? Unix-like means they use the Linux kernel, Linux or Unix kernels. Yeah. So now, but today NFS is a bit modern, but at least understand the basics of it, the fundamentals of NFS. Then anything that you can do with NFS, you already know the structure, you know what it is and all the like. Great. So imagine that we have 4 servers in our environment. You and I, we are logged into the same server, right? If you are logged into the VPN, my servers are this. Let me create a user and give that user a password so you guys can enter inside, right? You guys can enter inside my servers also. Let me see. User add. Green. That's user green. Password green. The password is pass. P-A-S-S. P-A-S-S. So cd2/etc yum.repos.dll vi to London. Nah, sorry. cd2/etc sudoers.de vi to boil, and I do okay. IPA. Anyone can log into this server. The IP is 10.12. Don't use the 192.1, the 10.12.20.200. You can log into this server and create your own user and your own password. Why I'm explaining. $10.12.20.200. You can log into my server. I've created user green with user green, and the password is pass. Green and the password is pass. Great. On the LDAP server, IPA. LDAP su-root. User add green. Password green. Pass. Pass. cd2/etc sudoers.d. Okay, vi to boil on and yang p insert, and I put user. Oh, it's user green. Great on these 2 systems. Okay. Card boil. I hope I did put. Oh no, I put pass, which is the password. Vi to boil. Vi to boil. Okay. Okay. People are already in. Good. I like that. I like people who are serious. So, as I was saying, you have 4 servers right here. There is a directory right here that should be accessed at all times by you and I, everyone. So you guys are all in here. Let's say we are like 20 users in here. We all put our files here and we're using. Maybe other applications have to use these files also. So what happens is If we need those files again in this system, we need them all in these 4 systems, right? Each of us will copy this file to this, to this, to this. Now, if you create a new file in here, that means that file will exist here. It will not exist here. It will not exist here. It will not exist here. If one person is able to reach the server, everyone should be able to reach the server. Can one person reach the server? I just want only one person that can reach my server. Is anyone connected already in my server? When you create your own user and your own password, switch to that user. Don't give your user password privileges. Gaitan is already in. If I cut /etc password, you see, I see Alex, I see Yasin. Hey, where are the others? Hey, you guys should log into this server. And also go to the LDAP server and do the same thing. Someone is asking for the root password. I gave sudo privileges to user green. Enter with user green and use sudo to become root, then create your own user. Then nobody should be as user green. Yes, Leon, do you have VPN? Yes, Leon, you have VPN, right? I did set your VPN up. Password for green is pass. Landry, you have VPN. Believe me, this question is on your exam. It always comes, never fails. Never fails, and it will never fail. Always, since 2010, it's been on the exam, and it will always be there. Okay, so we were saying that you have 4 servers. Now, Ashley goes in here and create a new file. It's not existing here. It's not existing here. It's not existing here. So in the traditional way, we will have to copy this file to this to this. There are 100 users, for example. That means someone's job is just to be changing or seeing if something changed between them and the like. Now, what you can do with NFS, one of the usage or the use cases of NFS is to be able to link all this together using NFS. With NFS, the NFS protocol links this directory together, right? It links this directory together in such a way that anything that happens in one shows in the other. So they are now all linked together in such a way that if Ashley creates a new file here, immediately that file shows in here, and in here, all at the same time. If a file is deleted here, it's deleted here, it's deleted here, it's deleted here. If I want to share any file for this server to take, anyone that's in here to take it, I just put it in my own. I don't need to, I just copy the file from where it is in the server to here. I just copy it to here, then it will replicate in all the servers that are connected through that. So how do you do that? You use NFS. So you build NFS. So if I build NFS in this server, this will become like the main server that's sharing, right? It's just like Git origin. The remote origin can be somewhere, right? So, right here, this will become my main server that has the directory, the main directory. The other servers when they configure themselves to access the NFS server, we will configure the other servers to point to this server. Hey, the directory is being shared using NFS and it is in this server. And boom, every directory will connect here and replicate the same thing right here. That's called NFS. Just want to keep it simple. Is that understood? For example, we have 4 servers. I have actually this server. I don't even want to include it. Should I? No. I mean, I can include this one. You guys can go in through this one too. But let's just make 2 servers. That's fine. We can make the third one when we do this one to catch up in time. All right. /etc password. Let me see how many people are in. /etc password. Clear. /etc password. Where is Amina? Where is Ashley? Where is Christelle? Where is
My network is not, my
51?
network is bad. I'm still trying to log in.
Where are the
So
other?
can I have the IP for LDAP, please?
The IP for LDAP, since you're already in this server and I'm using DNS, this one of the usage of
Okay,
DNS.
okay, it's okay, sir.
You see, you
Sorry.
can do a dig, or you can
Okay, sorry.
just SSH.
Okay, sorry, sir.
No, I was just using it to tell the others that, okay, now see how practically we're using now the DNS server, right? Now, we did not know the IP because we've matched IP to names. I don't need, it's like calling someone on my phone. I don't need the IP. I don't need to know what the IP is anymore. Leon, are you in? I want to see your user here. Are you in? Vanessa, the way you're looking at this server, I don't know if you will log into it today.
Enfin, ça dérange en fait chez moi. The connection is not so good.
If
I
your
don't know
connection
why.
is not good, you can't
Also
really
my
log.
connection. I tried to access to your GFR, I hope, but it doesn't work.
You have to be connected to the VPN.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Your VPN is not working.
It is working, but for the connect with the browser, in my browser, so it doesn't work.
Your POTI does not work.
My POTI is working. Let me try with POTI.
Wait, what did you try to connect with?
I want to try with the browser, with my browser.
Tu as essayé de connecter avec quoi? Avec ton repo server?
Non, j'ai en fait essayé d'essayer d'accéder à partir du VPN. VPN et après accéder au repo avec le browser.
Repo browser, c'est encore quoi? Moi, je ne connais pas repo browser.
Je vais essayer encore là.
Repo browser, c'est quoi, mon frère?
Je vais dire essayer d'accéder à travers le VPN et à travers enfin, ton lien, quoi. Ton lien pour accéder au VPN.
You're logged into VPN, right? Your VPN is showing green. Share your screen with me. Nobody will
It
see
is
your screen.
showing green.
Your VPN is showing. Share your screen with me. Let me see what's happening.
1 second. Sharing.
I think I'll be the only one to see
I will
this.
send the request. I'll send the request.
Yeah. Share your screen.
So let's show this screen.
So you're trying to use the browser after we just explain SSH here.
So it's okay now.
Show
Can
me
you
that
see?
your VPN is green. Show me that your VPN is green.
This is here.
Okay, open mobile extend.
Have it here.
Mm-hmm.
Can he share his screen so I can see how to do it?
SSH
If he shares his screen, you guys
Green
will start
at
coming out on YouTube, which I don't want.
68.
No, which 192 is 10? It's 10.12.20.200. Yeah, you share yours after Leon. Enter.
So
That's taking too much time. I don't like that.
yes, also I try again with,
Your CMD.
with this IP address and
Bring your CMD. Oh, wow. Connection timeout. Do CMD. Ping 10.12.20.200. Let me see. $200. Enter. Okay, you can't even get to it. Disconnect your VPN and reconnect again. What VPN profile are you using? You're using Linux class, not Bernard. Use the Bernard one. Which one is connected? Go up, let me see. Disconnect. Connect again. Why? You should be able to get in. No. Use Bernard. Use Bernard. Yes. Use that one. Okay, do a ping again. Yes, you have been connected all long since I said when you finish, disconnect and reconnect. Always disconnect when you're done, please. When you're done, disconnect from VPN. Enter. Put the password. Accept. No. Yes, then you do sudo-i. Sudo. This is everything we've done. Sudo-i. -i. Oh boy. Okay, stop sharing. If I start getting everyone in, Leon share, Leon is the last person. We will not finish anything today. Leon share.
Okay, I'm sharing now. Okay, can you see my screen?
Not yet. Okay. Is your VPN connected? Yes. Enter 10.12.20.200.
One more time.
10.12.20.200. Yep.
Okay.
Open.
It ain't work.
When did you connect your VPN?
Just now.
the connection is same.
Reconnect. Wait, disconnect and reconnect back your VPN.
Okay.
I need to create a new VPN server. Okay. Open a new party session again. No,
10.12.20.200.
yeah, 10.12.20.200. Hey,
There it
please
is.
accept. Yeah, connected. Guys, please stop sharing VPN passwords. I think it's kind of slow for you, Leon. I don't know why. It's slow.
Software cause connection abort.
Okay, that's fine. Not everyone will be able to log in. That's fine. Let's
Alright.
just continue without it. Others won't be able. Let me share my screen back. All right, at least a lot of you are in here now. I see Krista, I see Ashley, I see Amina, I see Salvador. All right, great. You all are in here. So the first thing we need to install when we are doing NFS, right? The first thing we will need to install is we need to install NFS-utils, right? We need to install NFS-util. So if I clear my screen and I do a yum install NFS-utils. All right, this is the package that will turn my repo server here. I'm just using one server for everything. So it's not like I'm just using one server for everything. I say yes, install it. It installs the package, right? Great, we have the package installed right here. I clear my screen, hello. All right, now, remember we said we were going to like create a directory. When we create a directory, then we can, oh boy, please mute. We can now share that directory, right? Let's create directory. Make directory slash, let's just call it /food, right? Let's just call it /food or /football. Okay, that's our directory. Let me tune it to like 777 so that you guys can also go inside and create your files. Tune this, right? Don't create it yet. Tune /football to 777. Hello. All right, that's our directory, right? Now, let me VI to /etc export. This is the, after the installation is step 1, which we've done. Step 1 is install, right? Step 1, we have install. Step 1, we have install, right? Install. Step 2, we have create your directory, right? Create your directory. Step 3, add your directory into the configuration. Add your directory into config. Well, there's permissions, but I mean, use another color, not yellow. Okay. Great. We have install, which is step 1. We have install, which is step 1. Step 2, create directory. Make sure that you give permissions, right? Then step 3, add your directory into the config. We want to turn our server to an LDAP server. Now, what's the config? VI to /etc export. This is /etc export right here. This directory is responsible for exporting what? Our NFS what? Directory to other servers. Let me see, where's my thing? So in here, for simplicity reasons, I will put insert, I'm on visual mode, escape, insert mode. Okay, now I'll put what? The directory I'm sharing. I created /football, which is my directory that I want to share through NFS on my NFS server. So, and I want to share it to, let me say 10 12.20.0 over 24 network. Then I want to give some few permissions like read write, and I do a sync to sync. There are other options, but for your level, I'll limit it to these options. You might see other options when I show you actually the directory that it's sharing. But so I'm saying here that I am sharing it to one network. If I want to share it to the whole world, at times you can just put asterisk. It'll share it to the whole world, right? Now I'm sharing it just to one network, which is the 10.12.20.0 network. How many IPs are in this network? How many IPs are in this network? Hello? There are only 12 people left.
That's 24. We can have 254.
Thank you. 254 IPs. Great. Because we'll go from 1 right up to 254. So 254 IPs. That's why I put a 0. But if I want to share it only to one IP, I'll do 178. I'm sharing this to only one server. Okay. But if you put 0 here, 0 over 24, that means you're sharing it to all the servers that belong to this network, to this subnet. Okay, to this subnet. I'm sharing it to all the servers that belong to this subnet only. Great. That's all. That's all I put in my configuration. Easy as that. Then, if I do export FS, export file system, -s show, nothing happens. Why do you think nothing happens? When we do export FS-S, nothing shows. Why? Why? Guys, tell me.
But you didn't save the.
Hello, guys. I do export FS-S. Show me what you're exporting to other people. Leon said hidden. Yeah. Kind of. More. Guys, help me. Salvador, I need you. Francois. Which is 07 Alain. Help me. Why don't I see? Export FS-R. Export FS-S. You see, I reloaded it. I reloaded the export FS, like go and read back the configuration file. Export FS-R, go and read back the configuration file and tell me if you see me exporting anything. Remember, I did set only a few options, but you're seeing other options that have been added by default. That's why I said I will not add all the options, but at least I'll show you some. So you have this /football. You say, hey, you are exporting /football to the 10.12.20.0 network. And you're doing a sync, right? There's widely height. I said I won't explain all. No sub-tree check. There's there's read write. Of course, we did put the sync and the read write. There's a root squash and no all squash. Root squash and no all squash. What are all these options? Root squash just means that if root creates something, it should belong to NFS nobody. Because now, if I tail /etc password again, after installing NFS, you see that you have kind of NFS nobody. Yeah, it will be somewhere right here in here. I don't want to cut the whole thing. We don't have time. So NFS nobody. So root squash. If I do a no root squash, that means if root creates what? A file. That file should belong to root. But remember, there will be a problem with that. I didn't want to start explaining all this. There won't be a problem. There will be a problem with that because, I mean, except you do it well. Because servers don't actually talk with what? Servers don't actually talk with names. They talk with what? user IDs? Well, it will work with user root because user root is always 0 on all systems. But if you put a no all squash means that if you create your file, it will have your name. But if you root creates a file, it might have NFS nobody. It will belong to NFS nobody, which is the user that user NFS nobody. Okay, that's just too much stuff. Let's forget about that part. I just wanted to explain some of the things here that you can see. This one is a little bit more complex, so I don't want to enter into that now. Now, what application uses NFS? NFS dash server. NFS dash server, right? I think it's NFS dash server. So yum install. We've installed NFS. Now we need to start NFS so that it will start broadcasting this and saying, hey, I'm sending this outside. So we do a systemctl start NFS dash server. Systemctl status NFS dash server. Great, it's active. What do I need to do again? Guys, tell me, what do I need to do again here? Is this all good, rosy and good? What's wrong? I see a problem. What's wrong? Type. Great, I need to enable it unless if I reboot this server, what will happen is this will go inactive. Imagine that you're in a company working and it's disabled. A software is an application is disabled and you reboot the server. Do you know the kind of outage that you'll cause? Systemctl enable NFS dash server. Great, it's enabled. If I do systemctl status again, I want to check and make sure it's active and enabled. Great, that's all I need. That's all the settings that I need right here. That's all. That's all that I need. Now, this is already sending stuff outside. It's already sending, it's saying, hey, I have a directory / football. If you belong to the 10 network, you can connect to me. You can mount it. Now that mount command is coming again. Something that is external, you take it and mount it internal. Remember, we talk about the mount command. But there is still another problem. What's the problem? Remember what we said. Every server communicating to another server uses a protocol, and firewall will kick you out if the ports are not open. Is that true? So even if the NFS service is connected and working, you need some kind of what? Protocol. What's the protocol for NFS? What's the port? What's the port? What's the NFS port? Remember firewall, we said every communication moves within, it moves with, who keeps on saying 22 every day? 22 is just, let me tell you, one service uses one stuff, one port. One service uses one port, HTTPD. If HTTPD is using 80, nothing can use it again. If SSH is using 22, nobody can use 22 again. Great. Big Leon says it's 2049. But you see, there is just more than one. There's more than one port. There are other sub applications that is being used for NFS also. Now, opening the firewall, remember last time I showed you, this is where you now see the advantages. Even if the advantages of paying attention in class and actually showing you more than 2 ways of doing something. So when I showed you how opening port, I showed you that you can open a port or a service. Now, firewall is intelligent enough to know that if I do a firewall dash cmd dash add dash service instead of port, because it's more than one port, I just add the NFS service. I call it and I say dash permanent. It knows all the ports. You see, the system is intelligent enough that it knows all the ports, 2049, 111, all the ports that are being used, even by the sub applications. So for NFS access, if I do firewall dash cmd, firewall dash cmd dash list dash all, I want to make sure that I can see my NFS service right here, right? I want to make sure that I am able to see my NFS service. It's open, right? Now, NFS is working. This is a client. This is a client machine. You and I, we are all in this client machines. If I tail slash etc password. Okay, great. We have all of them here. Is that true? Is that true? Right. For it to be able to use now, let's see if we can actually see anything. Let's see if we can actually see anything right here that's coming from here. Let me see. It's been so long. Show mount dash E. What's the IP? Show mount. I don't even need the IP. I need just to say, I hope this server is talking with the other one. Repo .class .local. Show mount dash E. Okay. All right. It's telling me, hope you can't use this. All right, fine. It says I can use the show mount. The command does not exist. I say which show mount? Which show mount? To see if there's any package that offers me this show mount. No, DNF provides, sorry. With show mount, I see that there's no application that is installed to actually work with this show mount. I do DNF provides show mount. I'm just checking the system to see if there is anything that provides the command show mount. If there's any application that provides this command, I know the command, yes, but I don't know the software that is giving me this command. I see that it is what? NFS-utils. Do I have that installed? I don't know. RPM, how do I know if I have it installed or not? RPM-cure A. I pipe and I grep for NFS-utils. I don't see anything. That means I don't have it installed. I do a yum install NFS-utils. Oh my God, there's no repo in here. Lord Jesus Christ. Could not resolve host name. Repo class.local. Okay. cat/etc resolve.com. 10.12.20.200. I think it's IPA. It's 200. Sorry. PI2/etc resolve. The DNS server is 200. You see the error? It threw me an error. I just knew what the error was because actually I have the knowledge of DNS now. It says couldn't resolve hostname. I just know it's what? DNS. Do you see? I read the error message, say curl could not resolve hostname, this. When I see cannot resolve hostname, it's DNS. All right, then I do my yum install again. Now I am using the knowledge that we have used to solve issues. And now It's good because it can resolve now the host name on the DNS server. It goes here and resolve the host name, take the IP, and work with it. Great. So I do an installation of the NFS server. Okay. Then I call my show mount command again. Before it said there was nothing. Unable to receive RPC. Okay, that's fine. So it's unable to receive, let me see, RPC info -p 10.12.20.200. Okay, remote server, no route to host. Really? TCP dump -nni any port 53. No, -nni any pipe and grep 4. 178. Okay. All right, what's happening? All right, it's going in and coming out. Let me see. All right, what happened? It demanded IP. It came through port 111. Do you see those ports now? Do you see the ports that you were saying? Can you guys see the ports now? It came in demanding to connect to port 111. And what happened? Then it came in again demanding 111. Then it came in with an ICMP ping. Bond 0, it demanded this. Who has recorded this? Okay, then out. He didn't give it. He didn't give it. But that's fine. At least we know that we can reach this host, right? There are other protocols. Other settings that might allow. So what's this IP? I thought I allowed this IP 10.12.20.178. That's fine. So the next thing that I might do, since my show mount isn't working, but it doesn't mean like saying no RPC, no round support. 111. Let me see. Let me see something. My NFS will work without. I'm just curious if I add 111 here, because NFS will work without, no doubt about that. I just want to see if I'll add this and remove it again. Add port equals to 111 over TCP. That's just permanent. Oh, I did not reload my firewall. Firewall. I didn't reload my firewall right here. That's what happened. Let me remove this and try again. I don't like doing things try by error. Let me remove this. Okay, I remove what I added. Let me do firewall -cmd just reload. Okay, let's try again and see. All right. That wasn't causing the issue. Now let me add it. Firewall.cmd just add dashboard. Okay. Let me do a reload and see if that is a problem. No. Oh, okay. Now I can see. I opened it and I can see all the NFS information right here, RPC information. Great, that's fine. Just this, but it will still work without the RPC, this RPC info. As I said, there are more settings. Okay. So right here, what do we need to do? We just need to create our directory and mount what? And mount our NFS server. So can someone help me with the mount command? Okay, great. Remember when we were talking about mount points, we said something external. If you want to mount something external, you must mount it to a directory that is in here. Remember? Can you remember? We mounted our repo in /mount, right? Great. We mounted our repo in /mount. Let me just make a directory. Make a directory. Let me just make a directory called make directory called NFS files. NFS underscore files. Make directory / let me make /NFS underscore files. Okay. Then amount dash type what? NFS. The mount type is NFS. Mount dash type what? NFS, right? Dash option. O for option, read write. I want to give it a read write. And then let's sync it, right? Then where is it coming from? It's coming from repo server. So repo hostname, let me see. Hostname. It's coming from repo server.local. Where? It's coming from repo server.local. And it is / what? /football. Right? Because when we do export fs /football, when we do export fs, export file system dash show. This is what we are exporting /football. So it's trying to mount /football. Where do you want to mount it on this system? It's coming from somewhere. We created a directory called /NFS /NFS underscore files. And that it came out clean. If we do df-ht, we can see that we are mounting what? Something. We are mounting /football. That's coming from repo class server. Let's cd to NFS. Let's cd to /what? /NFS files. Oh, people already created directories inside. Oh, you see? I just cd it inside /NFS files. You can see I wasn't even the one that tested. You guys tested it for me. cd2 /football. Guys, all of you create your files here. You see, once you create a file here, it will come out here directly. So someone should create a new file. Let's just check in this other system and see if it works. If you create it, just say I've created. Guys, are you guys sleeping? Nobody's creating any new file. What happened? Is my voice gone? Hello?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I thought people were logged into this system. cd to /football and create files. All right, great. Someone created files. You see, I go to the LDAP server. The exact same files are there. VI inside and write anything, save. It saves it also. It comes out here. ls-ld /football. Someone said permission denied. Okay. Shemot 777 /football. We are good now. You can enter inside and create your file. After this class, I need to build a new VPN server. This VPN. You see, you're creating your files. Yasin, you created yours. Great. Everyone is creating their files. df-ht. You see, I can see all the files. Once you create a file here, it shows exactly in the client also. Great. If I do export fs -s, export file system fs-s, right? Root squash and no all squash. Let me see. What if we copy this and modify it a little bit? vi2 vi2/etc export and insert let me not even go to all these details. Let me not go to too much details. You'll get confused. You'll learn the rest alone. Okay, so you can see all your files here. Holy. Okay, Mimi. That's you. When you see this, you know Mimi is in. You guys can see it, right? All right. Great. If I do df-ht, this is only temporal. If I reboot this server, this connection will not more exist. See, reboot. Right? Give it like a few seconds to reboot. If I reboot this, this will not exist. All right, this server is 172. Remember, we opened it only to the what? To we opened it only to the 10 network. This is the 172 network. Let's see if the 172 network can actually also connect to the NFS server. su-root yum install nfs-utils. There's no repository. God, Jesus Christ. This thing, it won't work. That's fine. I think I have other servers that I can try with. I have my exam repo server. Uh, 10.12.50.130. All right. I have another server which is a 10.12.50.130. So let me SSH to 10.12.50.130. This is another network. Can't SSH as root. I hope Gfera is there. Great. This is another server. I hope there are repos in here. IPA. All right, this is the 10.12.50, not .20. We allow it only to the 10.12.20 network, right? But this is a 10.12.50. Let's see. Let me switch to root. su-root. All right. I do a yum install nfs-utils. This is another client that is trying to connect. Great. There are some conflicting packages, but that's fine. So if I do, uh, okay, NFS is even already installed on this server. So if I do, let me see, if I do mount dash type NFS, you don't even need to put the options. So as I said, I always show you things I always show you things a lot. You don't even need to put the options. I just said mount dash type NFS source server. The source server is IPA. This is the source server. You can use the host name or you can use what? The DNS name. But if DNS is working, use DNS. Learn how to use those things. They will make you smarter. This thing always pays twice. 200, then it's slash football. Let me mount it to slash opt and see. Now, let me create a directory. Make directory slash NFS slash NFS. It doesn't matter what the mount directory is. The mount directory is just a placeholder. So if I mount this to slash football, to slash NFS, sorry. You see access denied by server. Why mounting this? You guys, you saw what happened, right? You're closing in 5 minutes. What happened? Access was denied. Why? Because access was not given. It's only the 10.12.20 network that can connect. This is the 10.12.50 server. It went and the server refused it, saying you can't connect. I can take a TCP dump and you see what happened when it came, right? You can take a TCP dump. Where's the TCP dump command? Instead of this, I put 50.130. All right, let's listen to it. And let's go and see what happens. It actually comes in. You see, it comes in, but finally it will get it denied. They can talk together, but the software will deny it, saying you do not have permissions. Is that understood? Now, the server that we rebooted, I told you that this was just temporal. Now, if we do a df-ht again, it's gone. It's not more there. We have to look for our mount command again, right? And remount it back. Yeah, its resolve will not work anymore because I don't have it. Let me just put it, man. This is just taking too much of my time. DNS server 200. Ah! Did this mistake. Oh my God. This is a mistake not to do. It was document server, I think so. Okay. Now this one is gone completely. 178. Let me see. All right, 178, duplicate tab. All right. df-ht. You see, it's gone again. Even this time, it's gone again. It's gone again. So let me do my split back. 178. All right. So if I call my mount command again, right, and mount it back, great. I do a df-ht. Let me unmount it. Unmount, unmount this. df-ht. Great, I've unmounted it. If I see cd to NFS to /NFS right here, utils, you see there's nothing inside. You see, this /NFS files is just a placeholder. It's a mount directory. It's just a placeholder. If I cd back out of it, and when I mount it now, if I do a mount now, and I cd back to NFS files and do LL, you can see now all the files back inside, the exact same files. So how do you make this permanent? Since it's only temporal, how do you make it permanent? Can someone help me? How do you make it permanent? Someone said copy. How do you make this permanent? HCFS tab. Thank you, Alex. You put it in HCFS tab. So you put it in HCFS tab. HCFS tab is where you actually make things what? You actually make things to be what? Permanent. Things that are mounted, df-ht. Things that are mounted, you actually make it permanent in what? HCFS tab. Okay? So what are the configurations in HCFS tab? So I'll just copy this right here. It's always good to go with this right here. This is what I'll actually add in SAFS tab. If I VI to /etc/FS tab, you see the ones for root and all the like. So I double this and I put mine. Or I add a new line and I put mine. This is mine, right? If I put this, then what? So this one is root / mine was / what? /NFS _ files. That was mine. The type of file system here is XFS. Mine is NFS. And I can just put also this default, then 0, 0. Right, just this. Now, even if I unmount, now that I've put it in /HCFS tab, let me clear my screen. df-ht. If I unmount, let me unmount. You mount what? /NFS files. It won't unmount because I'm inside. Let me get out. CD. All right. I do a umount / NFS files. It's unmounted. If I do df-ht, df-ht, it's unmounted. Now, because it's already in FS tab, I can just do a mount-a. What am I saying? Go and reread everything that is inside FS tab and mount it. Okay, it says there's a problem. You see, it says there's a problem. This is actually how you test it. When you mount something, this is how you test it. Always test it by unmounting that same thing and trying to remount it back using actually your config file. If I reboot this server will not work because it's saying the mount point NFS this file does not exist. Who can spot the error? It says this mount point, read within the lines. The mount point NFS file does not exist. What mount point did we create? NFS files with S. So we need to vi to /etcfs tab. This is actually how you test it to make sure that your stuff is working before you go. Else you won't be able to reboot this thing. You reboot it, it won't work. I add the S, then I come to a mount-a. You see, it says now there's no error. It's just saying that old versions use systemctl daemon reload. It's just giving me. But systemd still uses the old version. Use systemctl. This is just like something that's depreciated. So they want to change it. But they're posting the message each time just to make sure that at least you use it till you become aware of it. If I do df-ht now, you'll see it here. Even if I unmount it, if I do a umount this, and I do a mount-a, so mount-a, I cd to new files. So when the system is booting, it also does a mount-a and mounts everything that's inside FS tab, okay? cd to /new cd2, was it /what? NFS files. Great. We see all the files here. Great. That takes us, this is the end of the lesson today. I want you have 4 servers. Your 4 servers are still there. I want you to create an NFS server still on your repo server. One server can serve as a lot. So today, the assignment for today and tomorrow, before you come to class tomorrow, that you created your NFS file on your NFS main server, which might still be your repo server. Your NFS main server, you create an NFS directory and share it with all your other 4 servers and show proof that you have it running, because tomorrow we are doing AutoFS. AutoFS is a little bit complex. When you mount it, but with AutoFS, we will see the difference, how we mount automatically and all the like, without us going and putting all these kind of things like vi into /etcfs tab. All right, guys, that'll be it for today. And any question?
No, sir. Thank you
All
for
right.
your share.
Bye, guys. You guys don't want to go again? Someone said Yasin. All right. You can change just Kumi. You can you can own all the files in there. Well, tomorrow I'll see who own all the files in the NFS directory. Someone can own it all. All right, guys. Goodbye.